Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We are going to be doing some crafts today. Go figure. But I hope you can stick around. Here we go. Don't forget to check me out on Etsy. The link to my shop is in the description of every video. I'm excited to share a new community feature. If you go to my channel, it'll say go to community, and you can post pics now. We can share them with each other, which is awesome. So I can see you guys' decor or your thrift pics or whatever, and we can talk to each other that way. And a few of you have already went on there and shared some pictures, which I was so excited to see. So go check it out. Give each other some love. Well, here we are again. I hope you had a fabulous week. And yes, it's doll related. Go figure. It's Easter time, obviously. And it's bunny, bunny, bunny this and bunny, bunny, bunny that. And I just thought to myself, we need to do something different. So that's what we're doing. We're making an egg doll. Okay, yeah. Again, I don't know where this stuff come from. It just happens. That's how my brain works. So, I've got a large paper mache Easter egg. It's kind of textured because it's recycled. It was actually used for something else, so it has, you know, a little bit of texture to it. So, I'm just working with what I got. White paint. Went ahead and, gave it a nice coat of white paint. Let it dry. Broke out my Sharpie. And that picture that I showed you was one that I found off the internet. And I really liked that picture. So I thought, I just used my laptop as a reference, just pulled the picture up there and kept, looking back at that as I'm trying to draw the face. This is just, kind of like the outline. And I whipped out my acrylic paints to match the colors as best I could with what, showed in the picture. And after I do this with the Sharpie, I'm going to start filling everything in. Now, if you do any boo-boos, just take you a damp paper towel and wipe it off. If it's dry and then you want to do something over, just paint it white again and start from scratch. It's not the end of the world. And, there's nothing worse than being unhappy with something. So if it really bugs the snot out of you, like, stuff like that does me, you won't be happy. Just redo it. So, we're getting the pink in there. I'm just following the picture. If you enjoy this face, then what I would probably do is just pause the video where I showed the picture and just take a screenshot. And then you can use that as your reference. I think it was an antique Easter egg that, was hand painted. And I just enjoyed the face so much that I took a screenshot on my phone and thought, I'm going to make me an egg with that face and do the same thing. So that's what I did. All of this stuff is up to your interpretation. You don't have to do what I'm doing. If there's something else that you would rather do, go ahead. This is just what I wanted to do. I wanted to, I love antique clowns, and this is kind of reminded me of antique clowns. So that's why I went with this image, especially because the pinks, the pastels too, because of spring and Easter, and it just kind of all went together. I used kind of almost like a navy blue with a little bit of white in it for the eyes. But I did do some boo-boos and redone because, I get annoyed with myself. If it's not right in my eyes, it will aggravate the snot out of me until I fix it. So that's what I did multiple times. If I would have showed you everything, you'd have been here for a couple hours. But the mouth was a problem with me. I had issues with getting the mouth right. I am not an artiste by any stretch of the word. So, I have to have something to reference, and it has to be pretty basic for me to be able to, try to mimic it or copy it or something like that. So, just Google, put in a Google search for images, just something like goofy face or antique Easter egg face, or, just combo a bunch of words or something like that, and I guarantee you'll get a bunch of images, and you can pick what you want. But I end up going over the black with black acrylic paint and a really fine point paintbrush, because I wanted it to be crisper, not the way it looks now. As you can see right here, I did go over the black with the paint, which I think looks a lot better. And the blue eyes, to make them look more real, I just took white acrylic paint with that same fine point acrylic brush and just put a little dot on each eye in the blue. Now I'm making a neck for my egg because here's the doll body, no head. So I've been hanging on to this doll for a long time, just haven't quite figured out what I was going to do with it, and voila, here we go. I was like, where's that doll at? The headless doll. So I'm using this popsicle stick. I cut into that paper mache in the bottom with just a butter knife, and I'm gluing this popsicle stick in to give it, a little more strength and sturdiness in the body, instead of just trying to glue it on top. So, I always use Gorilla Glue brand hot glue. I don't know what you use, but it seems to work really well for me. And I just kind of put a blob in there in that little cavity and stick that down in there and kind of smash it down to make sure it makes good contact with it until it cures. And because generally with these doll bodies, the base of the heads are a lot bigger, I had to kind of use a little bit of glue and close the seam on the cloth of the doll around the neck. Those I got from Hobby Lobby around Christmas time, and they're kind of like a velvety texture. And I just trimmed them down a little bit, those bows, to make it match size a little bit better. I've gotten so many new subscribers the past month, and I wanted to do a giveaway to show my appreciation. So just leave a comment in the comment section, and then you'll be entered to win. Okay, we're on to project number 2. This is also by Tim Holtz, like the one I used previously, but it's larger, and they don't call it a cloche, they call it a reliquary. So if you're looking for it, it's called a reliquary. And another tiny BB, hot glue obviously, and I ordered those little wings. They're actually fabric wings, and I wanted to do a dragonfly this time because we're all doing, it's spring. Spring has sprung. So, I don't know about you guys or where you live, but Lord, I've been going down in the basement more than I appreciate because of all these tornado watches that I've been getting here. It's been crazy. So, anyways, I have got that really thin floral wire, and I've cut in 2 pieces that are the same size. I'm taking my, what the heck are them things called? I swear my brain's dead. It's about, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I haven't went to sleep yet. Needle nose pliers. There you go. I took those and kind of twirled it around at the tips to make them look like little antennas because, we're making a dragonfly. So, got them. And then I'm going to make a little dab of glue on 2 spots for the antennas on the head. That is just so I have something to stick the antennas into and that they'll stay. I just take a little bit of super glue, put it on the ends of those antennas, and shove them into that glue, and there you go. Those are the wings. I think they're pretty. They're really cute. They look really natural, and again, they're fabric. I got them off Amazon. They're really cheap. But I've got to use 2 of them because of the way dragonflies are. And I just flip my little baby over and put a little bit of glue on the back and stick my wings down on there. I do go back and, well, if you didn't notice though, the legs are missing. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm a pig when it comes to crafting. I don't know how many craft videos you guys watch. I've watched a few of the craft videos on YouTube, and everything is so neat and tidy and all of that. I don't roll that way. I'm just like a monkey. There's crap everywhere, and, it doesn't get cleaned up until after I'm done. But the legs are missing from the doll because I dropped it, and the doll is I think borderline antique or possibly antique, And the string broke and the legs fell off. So we have to do a little damage control. I'm just taking a little bit of moss with some hot glue and sticking that on the cork, just pressing it down. And, you know, it's just that fake moss. Hobby Lobby, Michael's, any place like that sells it. And I've also got these that I've had laying around. I always thought they were so whimsical. They're actually dried flowers. And they just look so cute to me that I kept them. And they dry really nicely. So I'm going to use those as my flowers. Use any kind of flowers you want. You know, it's all up to the discretion of the artiste. So you do what you want to do. I just thought these guys were kind of cute. And I cut them all down in, you know, different sizes. Not sizes. I guess I should say length. Cut them down to different lengths. Get something pokey. And, you know, poke into the cork. And then, you know, a little bit of hot glue. And shove that flower stem down in there. But yeah, I ended up having to, I didn't restring the legs. I just went ahead and just glued the legs back in the sockets and sat it on there. You know, I figured why, you know, why even go there? So here I am, covering that glue that I used to put those, you know, little wire antennas in there. And, you know, all of me fudging around here kind of bent up the ears, bent up the antennas, so I had to straighten them out again. And then I'm just taking that black acrylic paint and painting them too to match. I think it turned out kind of cute. We have another little insect baby, like my moth. There we go. All finished. And when I put that, you know, the glass dome over top of that, it kind of folded the wings in a little bit, which kind of wrapped them around the baby, which I thought it was cute, unexpected, but cute. Okay, project, I'm losing my voice. Project number 3. Woohoo! Home stretch. I don't know what the heck that is. I'm a pack rat, I'm telling you. If I think I can use something for some reason, I'm keeping it. So, don't know what it was, but it's working perfectly for my use. Doll head, not in the greatest of shape, but of course, something I truly love and use in a lot of my projects, as you obviously can tell. So I kind of tilted the head a little bit forward and glued it in with some hot glue. This is actually a bird nest that was lying on the ground. I found like over a year ago. I throw them in a Ziploc bag, put them in the freezer for a couple of weeks, and that kills any kind of mites or anything like that are in there. Now, obviously, you can use one that you purchase in the store. They're available, especially this time of year. You can do that. But I just, you know, put some hot glue on top of the doll's head and smack that nest right on top of there, and there you go. There it is. Now, you could tie a bow or whatever you want around the neck, too, to dress it up a little bit more. I stuck a few little quail eggs in there. I like how the, you know, the branches of the nest kind of hang down, kind of like hair, you know? And then I have this taxidermy bird. Don't know what type of bird it is. And I thought it would be cute sitting in the nest. So that's what I did. There we go. All finished. Little strange, but you know, that's me. And there's our egg, baby. Now I did paint the hands white in order to match the head. And here's our little reliquary with our little dragonfly baby. So I hope you guys enjoy these crafts also, and try to give them, you know, give them a whirl. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. And until next time, guys, see you later. Bye.